What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we got a story time of a girl who calls a classmate fatphobic for being fit. Yes, for going to the gym, for going outside and moving. He's being called fatphobic. Yeah, this is a very interesting story time, so sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Ralph. So anyways, right, this all happened one day when Ralph was on the playground. This all happened one day when Ralph was just out with his friends. So anyways, there was a pull-up bar. And let me just say that Ralph, Ralph was a good kid. You know, Ralph was, one who went out, worked on himself, loved to go to the gym. You know, just had instilled a lot of good, healthy habits. And one day, out at, like, recess or whatever, there's a pull-up bar, and he was with his friends, and, he just kind of wanted to go on there and crank out some pull-ups to be impressive. Like, is that a crime? Is that a crime? Is that a terrible thing to show that, like, I don't know, you care? Oh, no, he cares! Right, so, yeah, he went up, cranked out a bunch of pull-ups, all of his friends were like, what? Whatever. And, yeah, sure enough, his other friends went up there. They were maybe able to do a few, but nothing compared to Ralph. And, yeah, not gonna lie, Ralph was feeling pretty good about himself. It's a pretty cool thing to do. It's definitely something that can't come all at once. And, almost like one thing, it's like the one thing you can't buy in life. That's at least one of the reasons why I find it personally so impressive when someone has a physique. I don't necessarily mean someone's like a bajillion pounds of lean muscle. I mean someone's like obviously goes to the gym because, yeah, sure, you can buy better food, higher nutrient dense, you can have a personal trainer, you can have everything, but if you don't go out and do it, you can't buy your way to it, right? You can buy advantages, but you can't buy it itself, right? So that's why I always have a lot of respect for it. However, there was a young Karen in the making, right? A young Karen in the making who was watching this all go down with her friend. And this girl, we're just going to call her Twitter girl. You know why we're calling her Twitter girl? Because she has the mentality of most people on Twitter. Let me just let you know that don't go on Twitter. If you have Twitter right now, turn off the notifications and stop going on it. I go on it a little bit, which I really shouldn't, but I've completely muted almost every single person, right? The only people I follow are, like, Dr. Andrew Huberman. Like, I try and get, like, the best, I try and curate my feed, right? Because people on Twitter, I don't know, I've spent a lot of time. In fact, on this channel, I used to cover, like, people getting canceled on Twitter for stupid stuff. After a while, you start to enter a bit of psychosis because of how insane. It's like, am I going insane, or is everyone else stupid? And in fact, not everyone else is stupid, but everyone on Twitter is stupid. And that's why we're calling this girl Twitter Girl. So yeah, basically, right, the subscriber, all he did, the horrible, evil crime that he committed was that he did some pull-ups on the pull-up bar in front of his friends to impress his friends, right? Pretty evil, I know. And this girl, the Twitter girl, and her friends witnessed this. And I don't know, if maybe, I think if a normal person saw this, maybe they'd think one of two things. One, they wouldn't think anything of it. Or two, they'd be like, that's impressive. I can or cannot do the same. Maybe if I cannot do the same, I should work towards that. It seems like a pretty cool goal. Having that amount of control over your body is pretty sick, right? That's a pretty normal, healthy way to go about it. But no, this is not a normal, healthy individual. This is a Twitter individual. Very evil. I'm kidding. No one's really evil like that. But anyways, so the subscriber is just a little bit of time goes forward. And it's lunch. So they had kind of like a free period recess type thing, and then they had some class, and then they had lunch. Subscriber is sitting with his friends, and, life's pretty good, life's pretty normal, and that's when the Twitter girl comes up to him, and he's like, yo, like, well, what's up? What's good? And, they don't really talk. In fact, I don't think the subscriber has ever spoken to the Twitter girl before. Like, the subscriber knows who she is. They know of each other. But it's just kind of like a situation where, I don't know, it's just a little weird, like, it's just kind of strange, like, if someone just comes up to you and you guys have never spoken before, it's just a little weird, right? It's just, I don't know. And especially when she came up, kind of had like a hostile aura slash energy around her. I don't know if you guys notice this, but sometimes people will just come up to you and you already know that they're about to cause a problem. Like, I don't know. There's just something about like we've evolved to pick up on really like micro signals. I don't know. This is sounding really weird, but I feel like we've definitely evolved to pick up on the really tiny things that tend to kind of let us know if something kind of annoying is about to happen, right? If someone's about to be, kind of a difficult person, if someone's about to cause a problem, you almost get like a little bit of energy. It's almost like you start to feel, you pick up on the social signals, like the little signals that, yeah, this person's about to be a problem. So yeah, sure enough, right, the subscribers starting to pick up on the vibes that, okay, things are about to go downhill a little bit. So, he looks at not the spoiled kid, the Twitter girl, and they make eye contact, and the Twitter girl's like, I just wanted to let you know that what you did today was incredibly fatphobic. Please don't use that word in real life, guys. And by the way, let me just say that I think on the internet, there's actually probably like too much like just straight up hate towards people that are overweight. Like just clowning on them for no reason is pretty ridiculous. And look, everyone's a human being. Please try and remember this. One of the greatest tenets I think you can live by is treat people like you'd like to be treated, and you'd like to be treated like a human being because you are one. Apply that to your life, you'll live a better life, and you'll do better. But what I'm trying to say is like, at the same time, bro, what do you mean it's quote unquote fatphobic? Like, he did pull-ups. That's fatphobic. I swear, this is the type of person who spends 1,700 hours a day scrolling TikTok and be like, this sounds really good. When in fact, it's just someone spouting off about nonsense. Nonsense. You heard me. Nonsense. Yeah, but anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber is kind of just looking at at this girl and is like, come again? Which is like totally valid. I mean, this girl just said, I saw what you did today, and you're super fatphobic. Well, first of all, what's that even mean? Like, what does that mean? Second of all, what? Like, dude just had a normal day. It's funny, because, like, the subscriber at this point, like, didn't even realize that what she was talking about was the pull-ups. Like, he was genuinely searching through his mind, trying to recall every single thing that he did that day. Like, he was partially convinced that, she had him mixed up with someone else, because in his head, he's like, I haven't done anything. Like, I just have existed today. Like, I've literally just existed today. Is that a crime now? And so, yeah, he's kind of like, what did I do that was fatphobic, ? And she was like, well, today at recess, when you did all those pull-ups in front of your friends, like, you were really trying to show off how in shape you were. And, like, at the time, the subscriber's like, yeah, I mean, true. It's like, she's not wrong. You're not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, true. But, you know what? At the same time, like, the subscriber's trying to figure out, okay, what exactly is wrong here? And she's like, and you were doing it in front of all your friends, and you were showing off. You were flexing. You were really showing off how strong and in shape you are. And it was almost as if you were proud of it. And the subscriber kind of gives her a look of like, like, what do you mean if I was proud of it? I am proud of it, bro. Like, try me. Yeah. So he kind of gives her a look of, what are you talking about right now? Haha, like, what? And she's kind of like, and yeah, basically, okay, she articulates a little bit cleaner than that, but she basically says, because you're proud of being in shape, that is inherently fatphobic, and we will not stand for it. And the subscriber kind of looks at her with like a question mark face, because he's like, we? Who's we? Yeah, so sure enough, the girl's like, well, I don't think you know this, but you're going to know who we is pretty soon. Basically, we have, me and all the gals have come together, and we've decided to have an Anti-Fatphobia Squad. And the subscriber's like, bruh, well, what does that mean, bro? Like, for real, what does that mean? Anti-Fatphobia Squad? Like, y'all gonna protest the gym? Y'all gonna protest outside? Y'all gonna protest the salad option at McDonald's, bro? Like, what's the plan here, dude? And she's like, you know what? And we have assembled as of yesterday. In our first case, we'll be canceling and destroying you for your actions that are harmful to the community. Okay. And the subscriber's kind of just like, okay, boss. Okay, boss. Cool. Okay. Like, well, what is he supposed to do here, bro? Like, seriously, what is he supposed to do? Be like, man, shucks, that sucks. I guess I'll just stop doing pull-ups, like, on the pull-up bar that was planted there by the school. Yeah, so obviously a subscriber is super confused right now. He's like, and he's just been told that a team, the Anti-Fatphobia team of just random kids will start to harass him basically just because he was doing pull-ups. Like, I don't know, this is just kind of goofy. So the subscriber just kind of like responds, trying to clarify, like, look, I was just doing pull-ups and my friends happened to be watching. I don't necessarily see the issue here. Like, I'm not trying to be like a jerk or offensive or anything like that. I just genuinely don't understand like what the issue here is. And the girl's all like, well, you should have known. Like, I know for a fact that like the reason why that you were doing that, like your friends, you were doing it to show off, right? And here's the thing. What if one of your friends was secretly 600 pounds? He's like, what? How could they be secretly 600 pounds? She's like, you don't know. He's like, dude, what? Yes, I think I do. I have 2 eyes and they function. And she's like, you can't assume these things. But anyways, let's say that one of them was actually 600 pounds and you just you didn't listen to them. And the subscriber's like, oh my God, I don't think we live on the same planet. I think we live on 2 different planets because the laws of physics in your world are a little bit different than the laws of physics of my world. So, yeah. Anyways, right, the subscriber, it's just very awkward right now, and the girl is getting, like, angrier and unhappy, and all this, like, I don't know, it's just, like, at a point where, you know, she's just, like, you don't understand what you've done, you don't understand the enemies you've made today, all this kind of stuff, and obviously the subscriber just doesn't really know how to respond to this, because, like, how does one respond to this? Like, is this something you respond to? So eventually the girl like walks away, and remember, this is all happening at lunch while he's sitting down at the table with the boys, and they all kind of turn to him, and they're like, dude, what the frick was that, bro? They probably used words a little bit more or less, or a little less YouTube friendly, but they were like, dude, what? Like, what even was that? So yeah, sure enough, you know, the subscriber turns to his friends and is like, dude, I really don't know. And they're just like, well, that sucks for you. Like, maybe don't be so fatphobic next time. And he looks at them with a look of like, seriously? And they're like, relax, bro. It was a joke. Obviously, she's insane. And then they look at him and they're like, dude, think about it. What's the worst she could possibly do? Which, let me just say that I always feel like whenever you say, like, what's the worst that could happen, you're basically asking for it. I mean, you're basically asking for it. You said, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe the universe is going to show you what the worst that could happen actually is. Like, it's like, okay, oh, you want to know the worst can actually happen? Yeah, sure. I can actually show you what the worst that can actually happen is like. Sure, take a look. So yeah, sure enough, right, the subscriber he's in for a very interesting next couple of days, to say the very least. Real quick, though, if you made it this far into the video, comment fat down below. I don't even know, dude. Just comment fat down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And if you made it this far into the video, yeah, comment fat down below. Check out the pinned comment and link in the description to the Spotify page. Make sure you're listening on Spotify and following on Spotify if that's also a platform you use. And yeah, let's get back to it. Yeah, so anyways, he's thinking to himself, okay, how bad can it really be? Like, these are the people, like, what's going to happen? He's going to be canceled on Twitter. Hey, man. Hey, check your Twitter. You just got canceled. He's like, yeah, something stupid like that won't even matter. Also leave a like in the video for your free nothing, or I'll cancel you on Twitter. You don't want to risk it, guys. But anyways, right, so he's like, okay, how bad can it actually be? Like, what are they actually going to do? So the next day, you know, he comes into school. It's early in the morning, woke up, going to his first class. But before that, he needs to make a stop at his locker. He needs to drop something off. So, you know, I don't know. He's expecting to go to his locker, just normal day, nothing really going on, right? I don't know why you'd expect something to be going on. You feel me? And, yeah, Sure enough, he walks to his locker, and let's just say that it was not like it normally is. So there was a note, and not like a sticky note or anything, but like a piece of paper that was like hastily taped on, and it just says fatphobic on it, which, like, bro, remember, the reason why he's being called fatphobic is because bro did pull-ups, and now there's a targeted harassment campaign. You're being fatphobic because you did pull-ups outside. Like, dude, what? So yeah, he looks at it and he just like rips it off because like he doesn't want, like, I don't know, he doesn't want people to think that like he was the one who put it there or something. And he's just looking at this and he's like, seriously, like this is seriously what's up right now? Like, really, this is what's up? This is what's good? This is how we're rolling right now? So he rips it off and, shoves it into his backpack to throw away later, right? And so after a couple of classes, he comes back, and this time there's a sticky note on his locker, and in small letters, it says anti-fat. He's like, dude, what? So eventually, he takes this off, right? He goes and finds the girl. He's like, dude, are you putting these notes and letters on my locker? And she's like, well, I technically cannot disclose the activities of the Anti-Fatphobia Squad. It is against my jurisdiction to leak classified information. And this guy's just like, dude, or the subscriber's like, dude, like, just be straight up. Like, it's you guys, right? So this is like the type of person the subscriber has to deal with, bro. Like, this type of person is the person he has to deal with. So he's like, well, can you tell the members of the Anti-Fatphobia Squad to not put any more signs or post-it notes or sticky notes or anything on my locker? Please. I humbly apologize for doing pull-ups on the pull-up bar that was put outside. And she's like, noted, I will let the council know and they will decide. So at this point, the subscriber's like, okay, that was so painful for me to do because he didn't feel bad. He doesn't feel bad for any of these people. He thinks it's so stupid. He doesn't feel bad for anyone, right, in this situation. But at this point, it's just kind of like one of those like ego checks where it's like, yes, this kind of hurts my ego to like say this, but also let's think about it logically. If saying something like this could, in theory, make my life a lot easier, such as like not being harassed by these weirdos that spend all their day harassing people on Twitter anyways, so they're pretty good at it, then maybe I should just like take the blow to my ego and just be like, all right, whatever. Oh, you guys are so right. I'm sorry for doing a normal human bodily activity facilitated by something that was put there by the school in the first place and not asking you guys to watch, but you guys watched and decided to get all mad about it. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, if you say that and like thinking, okay, well, maybe my life will be easier. Let me just say that the subscriber, his life did not get easier. Because the Anti-Fatphobia Squad was just so bored. Like, you'll see this with a lot of these, like, Twitter people. Like, they're just so freaking bored that this is all they have time. This is all they have time to do. This is what they do. Like, and say, like, they can't do pull-ups because they haven't been training to do pull-ups because they're too busy doing this. Yeah, so, yeah, let me just say that the subscriber, his life, it's about to get a lot worse. So you think that, oh, maybe, like, writing down, oh, you're fatphobic, on a piece of paper and taping it on the door is bad. Well, wait until you hear what happens on the next day. Actual insanity. Actual insanity is about to happen. I don't know if you guys are ready, so I'm just gonna give you a little warning. Fair warning. Strap in. Brace yourself. And yeah, let's jump into it. Yeah, so basically, the subscriber at this point is fairly certain that all this nonsense is done. He is fairly certain that he's kind of out of the doghouse when it comes to this stuff because they're like, okay, what more could they want at this point? Like, seriously, what more could they want? I mean, which is just such a bad question. The mob will never be done. They will always go for more, right? But anyways, so yeah, he's like, okay, how much worse can this be? How much worse can whatever, right? And so the next day comes into school, and he's a little late. He's like going to be a couple minutes late. So he's in the car, and he gets the text messages from one of his friends. He's like, dude, like, brace yourself. Such like an unsettling, jarring text message to receive. Like, imagine you're just like waking up, you're chilling, you're ready to start your day, and you get a text message from one of your buddies saying, strap up, prepare yourself, we're going into war. Like, just something super ominous like that. Just, yeah. So he's like, what? Okay. Like, okay. So yeah, he's a little like jarred, but thankfully it kind of prepared him for all the nonsense that was about to come for that day. He walks into school. He walks over to where his locker is. Okay, so you guys might be thinking, oh, is there like another note or something? Did they not stop? Not only did they not stop, not only did they not stop, bro, they did something 10x worse than a note. You think a note is bad? You really think a note is bad? Well, prepare yourself for this. He comes into school, and there's three of them. It's like the girl from the before, the Twitter girl, and then two others that kind of just look like someone who'd be doing this. Take that however you want. And like the two other friends also in the Anti-Fatphobia Squad. So basically what happens is he walks in and he sees these two girls, or three girls, protesting his locker with signs, and they're chanting. Yeah, the subscriber simply can't even believe his eyes at this point because he realized that, like, these girls were kind of crazy. He realized that, like, these people were the epitome of just, like, Twitter. Look, he's been on Twitter once in his life, and he vowed to never go back. However, even yesterday, he was almost kind of, like, really taken aback by the fact that they were writing notes about, you're fatphobic. Like, look, if he was going around being like, fat, and just like looking at people and pointing at them and like screaming at them, be like, eat some freaking vegetable. Yeah, okay. Right. I can understand how that'd be a little controversial. Totally fair. Dude just was doing pull-ups. Bros is doing pull-ups. Imagine, like, he was walking, and they were like, you're walking at too brisk of a pace. That might be considered exercise. You're now canceled. Yeah, so, I honestly, dude, like, probably the reason, in my personal analysis, that this even went this far, something I'd like to call, boredom. Yeah. Okay, I'm not, like, inventing boredom. I'm sounding kind of stupid. Yeah, no, it's legit boredom, dude. Like, I swear, so many of these people that just, like, decide to go around just, like, causing problems, looking for problems, they're looking for problems because they're bored. They're bored. But, yeah, this person's actions, shut up! Like, no one cares, bro. No one cares. So at this point, the subscriber's getting mad. He's legitimately getting mad because they're making a big pompous circus parade thing around his locker with, like, his name on posters being, like, he should be canceled, that he is, like, fatphobic and, like, discriminatory, which, bro, you gotta be careful saying that. Be like, it's discriminatory. Please be specific. Like, I don't know, man. This is such a wide thing. That's a wide net. Not trying to get caught up in that, you know? So the subscriber walks up to them pretty sternly and is like, you guys gotta freaking stop. Like, you gotta stop this. This is actually insane. Like, this is actual delusion at play right now. So he goes up to them and is like, look, I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to go to the faculty and report you guys if you don't stop right now, which he's actually giving them a pretty good deal, because if you think about it, they've been harassing him for days, right? And he's giving them the opportunity to not get in trouble if they stop now. He's saying, I won't tell on you. I won't turn you in for everything you've already done if you stop now. It's actually a fantastic deal if you think about it. But no. Because, like, why would... Okay, and they're just in such delusion. Why would they give up now? If they genuinely believe that him doing pull-ups is, like, enough to warrant everything already, why would they all of a sudden then come to the realization that they may or may not be in the wrong? Like, why would they all of a sudden realize, how things actually are? So they basically say, sure, go ahead and tell on us. Like, you're only going to get yourself in more trouble. And the subscriber's like, okay, but don't say I didn't give you guys the opportunity here. Anyways, right, so the subscriber dips out of there, and he's like, as he's walking away, they start chanting louder, and they start these little chants or whatever, all that kind of stuff, right? The subscriber's mad. He's big mad. However, he also knows he wants to go into this situation very calm, cool, and collected, because he wants to score the win. He wants to make sure that his emotions don't get in the way of actually completely, perfectly executing this and owning the frauds, right? That's one of my favorite statements. Oh yeah, these frauds got owned, whatever, right? So he goes to the principal's office, knocks on the door. The assistant's like, hey, can I help you? And he's like, hey, I'd really like to talk to the principal right now. And he got pretty lucky because the assistant was like, oh, he's actually, he's free right now. So he's like, all right, walks in there. And so the subscriber explains the situation all the way back from like, look, you know the pull-up bar you guys installed? Like, I was on the pull-up bar doing some pull-ups with my friends. Nothing harmful, right? Principal's like, yeah. And then he's like, okay. And then this group of girl came up to me and was like, you know, what you were doing. The principal's like, okay, that sounds a little much, but okay. And then he starts talking about the notes, and he's like, ooh, that's kind of an issue. And he said, do you actually want to join me to see what's going on right now? And the principal's like, okay. At this point, like, I don't know what the principal expected, but I'm going to make the assumption that he did not necessarily expect what was coming. I don't think any principal in this situation would have really expected what was coming, because maybe he was expecting more notes. I think that would have been kind of like, that would have been reasonable based off what he's been told so far. But a full-on protest? I don't know. That sounds like a bit of a stretch to me as well. So the principal probably isn't super happy to see all this, like, because, like, I don't know, right? Because the principal walks out, and the subscriber kind of just looks at him once they get to his locker. And the principal's looking, and he's probably like, oh, jeez. Like, I got a headache. I got a problem on my hands, right? So the principal sees these three girls walking around with big signs. One of the signs is literally just a photo of the subscriber with, like, an X through it. They're, like, chanting. They're walking around his, like, locker. They're making a scene. And so the principal's like, okay, well, I got to at least put an end to this. Principal goes up to them and is like, hey, girls, like, can we all have a little talk or something? And they're like, they were kind of like, I don't know. I think part of them, it was weird. It's like the subscribers trying to explain the reaction that they had. It was like kind of mixed. Like part of them were like, oh my God, like the principal's stopping our presentation. But I think some of them, or part of them at least, still believe that like, oh, well, we're going to be able to explain our cause and really get this guy in big trouble now. Yeah, right. So they eventually agree, and they put their signs down, and all of them walk up to the principal's office. And the subscriber tells me this is like one of the most awkward walks he's ever taken, because all five of them, the three girls, the principal, and the subscriber, are all walking up to the principal's office, which is like a 2-minute walk in dead silence. And the 2 minutes, like this 2 minutes, like dude, awkward time goes so much slower than normal time. These 2 minutes are the longest 2 minutes the subscriber has ever felt. So anyways, eventually they get into the principal's office, and the principal sits them all down. And he's like, so, ladies, the subscriber over here kind of let me know what the situation was from his perspective, so I was wondering if I could hear it from your angle as well. And so at this point, I think the principal was kind of expecting that there was more to the situation, because it just kind of felt like the subscriber must have been leaving something out. It just kind of felt like he was, oh, I was just doing pull-ups, and then they started hating on me. Like, it kind of feels like 1 does not equal 2 here. There's something missing in this equation. But the girls go on to give basically the exact same recollection of events as the subscriber did. Obviously, they put a little bit more emphasis on their parts, like the parts with them in it, like they didn't. But at the end of the day, they basically said the exact same thing that the subscriber did. And the principal is kind of just sitting there, kind of looking like, is this your final answer? Like, is this actually your final answer? So anyways, right, yeah, the principal is just kind of sitting there almost in a bit of like shock and just not really understanding what he just heard, because the girls just confirmed that the story is exactly the same as the guy said. And the girls were looking at the principal with a kind of look of like, okay, are you going to justify what we just did? Are you going to stand with us? Are you going to stand with anti-fatphobia? Like, what are you going to do? And so the principal is looking at them and is like, girls, like, this guy over here is just doing push-ups, or not push-ups, sorry, pull-ups. And they were like, well, actually, by the way, if you guys ever start a sentence and say, well, actually, just really consider if it's the best way to go about saying that. Because I swear to God, whenever it's always the comment section. Well, actually, I read on Reddit, tips Fedora. Like, I just can't handle that anymore. So yeah, the principal's like, really? Like that's how it's going? That's what we're doing right now? And he's like, what did they do? Like, genuinely, what they do? They're just doing pull-ups. So, yeah, the principal then has to, quote-unquote, break it to them that, no, he is not going to punish the subscriber. And they're just like, what? So you're pro fat phobia? Yeah, like all that kind of stuff. And he's like, no, it's just the subscriber didn't do anything wrong. And the subscriber honestly is just sitting there just like, thank you. Thank you. Like, just like someone is finally like, just the subscriber is thinking, am I going crazy? Am I the one going insane? And the principal is like, he was just doing a activity with his friends. I genuinely don't see where you're coming from. And they were like, well, he was showing off to his friends that he could do a physically difficult activity. And that physically difficult activity meant that he had to go to the gym a lot. And if you go to the gym, why are you going to the gym? For your own health? Probably not. Probably just for aesthetics. And also, like, dude, okay, who cares? Like, you should go to the gym for your health, but if you want to go for aesthetics too, literally, who cares, man? Like, let them do what they want to do. And the principal's like, I really hope you guys like think long and hard about what you guys have done today. I think like the subscriber has done obviously nothing wrong. And now these girls are getting mad too. They're like, you know what? You're on our list now for being pro fatphobia and all that kind of stuff, right? The principal kind of like ignores that comment and just kind of says, all right, well, basically sends them out of the office, tells them to kind of like break it up, and also says to the girls, like, if you guys are like continuing to harass the subscriber, we're going to have to actually do something about it. They were super mad. They were super angry, but also they didn't want to get in actual trouble. Like, they were totally fine trying to get the subscriber in trouble for doing pull-ups or whatever. But the second that they were at risk of getting in actual trouble, they were like, you know what? Nah, you know what?